Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined with Preston, the Sports Cheetah, and Ralph Michaels of Cal Sports. Last week, guys, we didn't have a lot of big signature marquee college football games on the docket, but boy, we got some this week, and we're going to be breaking them down here on videos. The first one, Florida State at Louisville. And ACC, there's some good teams in the ACC this year, and we're getting a showdown early on with these two. Florida State, we expected this. You guys, I know in the offseason we talked about Louisville being much improved, but have you guys expected this much so far, or is it, the opposition that they've been playing?
You expected it out of Louisville just because of the opposition. You look at Syracuse, played into their hands, fast-paced game. Charlotte is a team that was disappointing, and I think Bobby Petrino. Certain coaches want to show things, and certain coaches want to hide things. He needed to give his team confidence going into this game, so there was nothing he hid. I think he showed everything on paper. I think he showed his entire package, trying to get his kids to believe, trying to get his team to believe, trying to get his fans to believe that they can hang into this game. I don't think they can do it, but I think he did the right thing coaching by running up those two scores.
Preston, Florida State, we know that first game. If you take away that first half of football against Mississippi, this team has been absolutely dominant, but, Mississippi put up points in that first half. They made halftime adjustments. Do you think it's a total fix, or does a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, it's a dual threat that can run and throw the football? Can he present a problem for Florida State?
I expect he will probably early on, just because he is so electric, and it's tough to even practice against someone that's that quick and really prep for a guy like, the comp is Michael Vick, and I think it's fair. He's that fast. You saw him on read options where he'd fake it to the running back and take it himself. Syracuse defenders wouldn't even get a hand on him. He was gone. He'd run for 70 yards. That takes some time to get used to. So to be honest, if it was close at halftime and then Florida State pulled away, I think that's what I would bet if there was a way to bet that. I think Jimbo Fisher makes adjustments that are needed. But in general, I think the Louisville hype is a little too high. For whatever reason, they were on national TV against Charlotte, laying almost 40. I think it's because it was opening night of college football, actually. And so everyone actually saw that game because it was the first night of college football. Then they saw them against Syracuse. Last was a Friday night that they played, and it was on national TV again. So they see this Lamar Jackson kid against poor competition roll just completely with this offense. And I think people are kind of disregarding Florida State, who, to be honest, to go down 28-3 or whatever it was to Ole Miss and come back and actually win by double digits, that's impressive as hell. So I think it kind of reminds me to kind of end this little spot very, very similarly to 3 years ago, the year that Florida State won the national championship. This came to me yesterday, and I was doing another video, and I said 2 years ago. I was incorrect. It was 3 years ago that they won the national championship. So if you see both of these, I corrected myself. But Florida State, they went in, they played at Clemson, this up-and-coming Clemson team who had a stud at quarterback named Taj Boyd, and they crushed them. It was like 51-4. I believe the spread was around a field goal similar to this line, and Clemson was getting all the hype. They were ranked 3 in the country. Just had no shot. Florida State killed them. It kind of reminds me of that. I'm a little worried for Louisville fans, to be honest.
All right. We talk about, the first, 2 weeks of the season that, people overreact to what they see. And we always, Louisville is the perfect example of this. And it's why you can't really trust your stats early in the season because of the level of competition. You do the Cheetah Guide every year. What were your power ratings before this season started on this game? What would you have had? Do you remember what you had this in the Cheetah Guide at?
Yeah, I think I had it at 4.5, and now I have it 3.5. So I've kept Florida State the same, and I have bumped Louisville up a point just because Lamar Jackson does look dynamic. But you don't want to overreact too much. So that's why it's only a point, And so people that I've talked to that have this game around pick or whatever, I think that's too much. I think Florida State deserves to be over a field goal favorite, so getting under a field goal is probably a good bet.
Marco, one big stat. Men against boys as far as competition. Last 3 years, Florida State, 12 games against ranked foes, 9-3 straight up. Those losses against Oregon in a semifinal game, against AP number 3 Clemson on the road, and against Houston last year in the bowl, who they didn't care about. Louisville, ranked teams last 3 years, 0-6 straight up. And only one team truly in the top 10, that was a Florida State team that beat him and covered. The other top 10 team they played was Auburn to start the year last year. 2 weeks later, Auburn was out of the ranked polls and finished 7-6. Very misleading top 10. 9-3 against 0-6 against ranked teams the last 3 years. Tells you all you need to know.
That's it. So I put the gun to you. You on Florida State?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Preston?
Yep.
Yep. Let's make it unanimous. I'm on Florida State too. Hey guys, you can save $10 with coupon code NUGGET10. That's the word nugget in the number 10. You get $10 off any package this week at WagerTalk. Use that on the weekend all access. Save yourself $10, make it just $59. You can pick your favorite capper and get all of his plays Thursday through Monday. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.com.